All right, we got another edition of Mike Finds Things. This one's a bit different. We don't have any 78s. We do have some few 45s, one cassette, a few LPs, and a stack of CDs from local estate sales and thrift stores. Was not able to find much the last couple weeks, so this is what we have. Hopefully, I will find some stuff this week. Also, make sure you like the video. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Leave some comments about some of this CDs, cassettes, or any of the records I found this week. Fortunately, we are getting to the end of the year. Unfortunate for my other channel, which is Mike Frankovich, and that's my name, and that's where I film car shows, as the car show season is kind of dwindling down to not a whole lot. But that means the estate sale season is kicking up. So we'll probably be finding a lot more stuff on the channel, so make sure you're subscribed so you get to see what we have. We are almost to that 1,000 subscriber mark. We're slowly getting there. We're going to start off with a cassette. We usually don't do a lot of cassettes on the channel. This one was okay. This sale was about 5 blocks from here, so it wasn't much to get there, so I took a chance. I actually saw an Exotica album in one of the pictures. It didn't say they had records, so I took a chance, even though it was only five blocks from here isn't much of a chance. It turned out to just be an album cover, not even the back part of the album. I guess he had it framed on a wall. But I did find some stuff there, so we're going to start off with that. This is going to be kind of mixed up. The CDs were all from that sale that I'll have at the end of the video. So we'll get there when we get there. But right now I found a copy of Slayer Seasons in the Abyss on cassette. Yes, a cassette copy, thrash metal. Which sorry, it's not 50s R&B 78s. There you go. Remember cassettes? There you go. It still has a sticker from Second Time Around Music in the 213 area code. So that's an old one. They paid $2.99 for it at one time there. But thrash metal cassettes and stuff like that, even rap, are quite collectible. I'm probably going to give that to a friend of mine that actually collects that stuff. And he actually owns, he's like me, he owns old cars. He has some 80s like GM front wheel drive cars, and he still plays cassettes in him. He hasn't put a modern stereo in it. So we're going to go to some 45s I picked up at the same sale. He had some, actually this one, okay, we'll put this one. This one came from a different sale. And these, okay, let me do the ones from that sale first. Sorry about that. Wow, we're just a mess here on Mike Finds Things. First one we're going to go into is a ska record from '64. I listened to it. It wasn't a very good ska record, which probably explains the value. 50 cents. Low, okay, when I quote prices, they're usually Discogs unless I note otherwise. Low of 50 cents, mid of 2, high of 4. It's a UK pressing of Mockingbird Hill by Midgel 5 on Pi Records with the knockout plug. And Long Ago and Far Away. Like I said, it's not the greatest ska record I've ever heard for sure. But kind of interesting. We don't get a lot of ska stuff, especially UK press stuff in the US. You don't find a lot at sales. A lot of people do collect it here. You just will not find it really at estate sales too much. Hopefully the parrots are behaving themselves. Last time they were not. If you watched the last video, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know, I generally only have like 1 or 2 shots to get these videos done, as they do take a while to make, and I've got other stuff I have to do, and I have to do it before people start doing gardening and construction. I don't think we have much construction in the neighborhood right now. This one has the original sleeve on Memphis Records out of Memphis, Tennessee. 1970 funk song, low of 5, mid of 14, high of 26. And this one, the DJs want this record because of the funky drum break. It's Take This Woman Off the Corner by James Spencer. This one is definitely funky. You can see, I could see why it has a little higher value than most 45s. And I Need Your Love is the B-side on that one. That's a good funky one to check out, especially if you like if you like that funky break stuff from the 70s. Here's one from the 70s. It's from 1979. This one's going to be for my daughter. A lot of these are for my daughter, especially the CDs. I got her into the Pretenders. This is a UK pressing of Kid 45. And the B-side is actually Tattooed Love Boys, so I'd almost call that a double A. So Kid with Tattooed Love Boys on a single, and it's like, and it's the one where it has the small hole. But kind of neat. That's something I'm likely to run across. Value's not crazy. Low of $1, mid of 4, high of 8. But good one for my kids' record collection that I'm helping her build up. Especially since she really likes the Pretend. She got into Blondie. Then I bought her a Pretender. I think if you like Blondie, you'll like the Pretenders. So she likes the Pretend. If they ever come back around LA and they're not doing like a full festival, I have to take her to go see them. Here's one we know this artist. It's the original sleeve. This was a sale in South Pasadena. I think it was put on Nextdoor. Always check that Nextdoor app. Sometimes there's sales on there. This guy had a bunch of records I think he bought like years ago, and he had some mid-century stuff. I bought like a mid-century lampshade for one of my mid-century lamps, which I needed a lampshade for. And I think we bought a couple other like things from him that weren't records. But this is the Incredibles with the original sleeve. They do a lot of their stuff's either kind of got a northern beat, or it's got or it's kind of more of like a lowrider style. Incredibles Heart and Soul, Audio Arts, low of 2, mid of 8, high of 26. And I found another love, but it's in such good condition. I have other Incredibles 45s that I found over the years, so, I don't know, it's always good to pick them up when you can get them cheap. People don't usually grab them because most people don't know the Incredibles, They think it's a Disney movie or something. Okay, we had to go there. Here's another I got that same sale. I can't remember what I paid for these. It wasn't much. This one is not on Discogs. It's a UK press of an LA band, picture disc from 1993. This was, as I said, there's no listing for this one on Discogs that I could find, unless it's one of those hidden ones you have to like really search for. Goes for, from what I could tell online, goes for between like $15 and $25. It's Fishbone, another band I've seen live multiple times in the 90s, and probably about 10, 15 years ago I did see them. They opened for Jane's Addiction, which we had a Jane's Addiction in the last video that I bought years ago, LP. And the pool is now open. And it comes in that sleeve so you can still see the picture disc. So kind of a neat Fishbone collectible. I saw them with Primus. I saw them with, like I said, Jane's Addiction, and I saw them years ago. They played different things. Of course, they play LA a lot, so I don't know how many times. I've seen them quite a few times. Let's just leave it at that. Now my brain's actually starting to function. I got a 2009. This is from the sale that was 5 blocks from here. I think we're going to keep coming back to that one. No, it's really one more time. We got to come back to that one. This is a 2009, so we're getting a little more modern here. In fact, we got one that's newer than that after that from the same sale. This guy, they had the records were outside, and they left them overnight where they got misty dew on them, which isn't good. So this one messed up the sticker on the plastic here. Indie pop record, low of 14, mid of 23, high of 40. I think this is a U.S. pressing. They really don't label these very well. It's the XX, so not X. It's the XX, and the album's called XX, apparently. So I don't know how they got away with calling themselves XX. There's already a band called X, but then there's like a Japanese band called X as well, I think. And I think when they perform here, they have to say X from Japan or something because of X, because of the punk band X, which I have seen multiple times as well. And they're actually doing their final tour right now. So if you haven't seen X and you want to see X, this is your chance to see X, the punk band that is from LA. This one is right here. It's just got a big X. Again, there's not much. I'm not pulling this thing out. It's on that big heavy vinyl. I actually played one of their videos, and they're pretty good. It's actually really good. I think they were popular back then. I didn't really listen to alternative radio in the 2000s so much, but they definitely got like kind of like a cool, almost like a Pixies vibe almost going on there. Yeah, so they seem pretty good, and like I said, I don't know what I'm gonna do with that one, if I'll sell it or what I'll do with it. I gotta really start selling. Somebody already sent me a message about a record in one of the videos, one of the jazz records, and I really gotta like start organizing these things to sell them, which was our plan over the summer, and that failed. But so that's just how life works. Everything kind of got crazy. Obviously, I'm filming a lot during the summer. That's car show season. Okay, now we got a trash truck. Oh, bye, Mr. Trash Truck. I just drove past. Okay, we're good. It's always an interruption here on Mike Finds Things. Here's one from 2015. Most of you guys might know this artist. It's New Country, which I'm definitely not into. It's new. These things go for 30. It's still sealed, so no one's listened to it. But someone, like, I didn't realize it till I was actually marking the prices on these, and when I had it in the light, you could see someone took like a piece of paper and was writing on a piece of paper on, like, using this as a clipboard, and it's kind of indented the back. So I don't know. Knew it's a $30 record, so I'll call it like a $10 or $15 record because of, if I did sell it, I'd have to tell people that because I'm not, I'd have to be honest about it. Not something I really want, but it's The Traveler, Chris Stapleton, 2-album set. I don't think I paid much. I don't think I paid a whole lot for these. But I grabbed it because it was still sealed. I know, it's a newer record, 2015. It's probably one of the newer ones we've ever had. I think we found other ones that were even newer than that at a thrift store a few years ago, which I still have those records that I haven't sold in them. And they're not stuff I definitely want to hold on to. We're going to go to some records I did buy at the thrift store, the one I like to go to, the Savers, where they've raised their price to $3 now. Some stuff is still $1.99 for some reason. First one I found is a 1960 Exotica record. A low of 2, mid of 6, high of 18. It is a mono pressing of this one. And it's not a Martin Denny I had. Martin Denny's Exotic Sounds from the Silver Screen. It's got like him doing Over the Rainbow and like different stuff like that. So Singing in the Rain, Chattanooga Choo Choo, stuff like that. So Martin Denny's Exotic Sounds from the Silver Screen. And it still has the original owner's address on it. Address label. On Liberty Records. Martin Denny is always popular with the Exotica people. So I used to do I used to call it the Surf and Turf Hour on a radio station in Washington State when I was in the Navy up there. Played a lot of surf and Exotica and cocktail stuff, and so Martin Denny was always popular. Here's one I got at the same sale. I've got, once we get to the M's in my album collection, which those videos aren't doing as well as the ones where I actually find stuff currently. I got a bunch of copies of this, but this was such a mint copy, I grabbed it for $2. Men at Work, business as usual. And on Discogs, low of $1, mid of 8, high of 20. So there you go. It actually is worth more than $2. This is the one with Down Under. That's the one they got. And this is, of course, the U.S. pressing. They got a lot. This one's, like I said, the record is super minty, so I snagged it. It's the one with Down Under. That's the one that basically just about killed the band because they got sued over the flute solo part. There's like a whole story behind it, and they got sued over that because apparently it was part of a copyrighted song. There's just videos you can watch on that whole thing and how they figured it out. That in fact the copyright holder didn't even know about it until it was like on a game show where they asked a question about where the flute solo was from, and then the person who owned the copyright was like, "Oh, I own the copyright to that," and I think years later they wound up getting the copy, but it really messed up. I'm just gonna say it's bad. It's probably one of the worst things where it's very similar to the Verve Bittersweet Symphony where they got sued since it was like sort of inspired by the Rolling Stones. It's a similar story to that, but it really did mess up the band. I did see Colin Hay solo live from Men at Work. I saw him probably in the 90s. I saw him live up in San Francisco once. So I usually like to mention if I've seen artists live or not. Obviously, I haven't done that for everybody, but sometimes I do mention that. But Men at Work, always popular in the 90s. Here's an artist I have never seen live. 1976, always a popular one. If you grew up in the era, like in the 70s and 80s, like I did, this was everywhere. In fact, the post office used the song as like their theme for a while. Steve Miller Band, Fly Like an Eagle. I didn't bother to look up the pressing because they pressed 1 billion copies of this. It's from 76. It's one everybody knows. I hear if there's any other hits on this one. I can't read it. The print's too small and it's weird colors. But Steve Miller Band, Fly Like an Eagle. We all know that one. We all know Steve Miller Band. Here's one from the thrift store. And oh my, I grabbed it because I've never seen this album before. And I know what it is because I've seen the movie before. So even back when I was a kid, I saw the movie and I've shown the movie to my daughter. And it's a very enjoyable movie. I will say that. It's from 1984. It's the movie soundtrack for Never Ending Story. This includes the song by Lamal, of course, from Kaja Gugu. And side one is all Giorgio Moroder, and then side two is Klaus Doldinger. So if you have like so this appeals to people that collect Giorgio Moroder stuff, that just like 80s new wave stuff, because it's got the Lamal song that everybody knows. And it appeals to people who love the movie The Never Ending Story. It does have a stamp on it. It was a promo copy, so it was sent someone promotionally wise, but I'd say it's in mint condition, pretty minty. I'm not gonna say mint, but I'll say minty. This one, believe it or not, this is a U.S. version. This is Discogs price, low of $22, mid of $55, high of $151. I did not see that coming. I grabbed it because I was like, hey, I've never seen it and love the movie. Don't watch the second one if you love the first one. The second Never Ending Story movie is not very good. It's just one of those where you don't really want to see the sequel. So, yeah, 1984, Never Ending Story. Definitely something I grew up on and I've shown to my daughter. And things I probably shouldn't have shown to my daughters. We're going to roll into that. This is probably going to be the thumbnail to the video is going to be this. So we're here. It is almost Halloween, so we have something creepy for you. All right, we'll see how this goes. This is we got 4 records. 2 of these I got at an estate sale. Was like the very, very last. It was like the day after the last day of the estate sale when they were just trying to blow everything out. So it was like fill up a garbage bag for like, I can't remember, it was 10 or 20 bucks. In fact, I had filled up garbage bags I got a receiver and I got a VCR DVD combo. And then separately, I bought a very minty 1970s Lazy Boy in plaid orange, if you can believe that. This thing is beautiful. It looks like it's brand new. But I did buy a couple records there, and you'll question why, and then I'll tell you why. So let's go into that. So these actually have a cult following, and you will see why. You've probably seen these online before, and were like, "Wow, was that a real album cover?" Yes, it was. It's like a Christian album of it's Marcy Sings to Children is the best way I can describe it. And man, that ventriloquist doll dummy thing is creepy. So. This is like the one usually you see online. Believe it or not, this thing is from 65. It has a low of 5, mid of 10, high of 20 on Discogs. And let's face it, it's for the album cover. It's creepy. It's a great gag gift. It's great for Halloween. And it also has the song When Mr. Satan Knocks at My Heart's Door, which is probably the greatest title for a song ever. Let's just face it. It's bad. Even the picture on the back super creepy. Remember Talkie Tina from the Twilight Zone? It's that creepy. I showed these to my daughter. She's like, "Don't ever show this to me again." So that'll tell you. This was marketed to children. Yes, it was. Apparently, Marcy was on TV a lot. So this lady's name was Marcy. And her singing voice, she sounded like a child, even though she was a grown adult. And so she got the brilliant idea to start being a ventriloquist and using like a small girl doll for the actual singing, which was probably a good idea at the time. And years later, we now look at this and it gets posted on Facebook in like those bad album cover, creepy album cover posts. But Marcy Sings to Children. Collectible, yes, this one's not in the greatest shape, but just a good example of an album you would see at a sale and you would probably be like, nope, but it actually has a little bit of value. And because you wanted more Marcy and more creepiness, we have Sing Along from 1966. We got Sing Along with Marcy. Now, some of the Marcy album covers have her as a cartoon, so you don't get to get that full picture of the ventriloquist doll that will haunt your nightmares. Those aren't worth as much because they're just not as creepy. In fact, this one I got at the thrift store. Two of these I got at that sale. Two I got at the thrift store. The thrift store had some of the ones where Marcy's a cartoon. I didn't bother. They just don't have that shock value, I guess. So sing along with Marcy from 1966. Low of a buck, mid of 7, high of 13. Yes, Marcy's got a reindeer that's she's ready to sick on your heart and tear it out of your chest while it's still beating. So that makes it even better. But you can see there's ever like Marcy's just nightmare fuel. That's all. That's all I could say. Yes, this was popular. They even had the doll. Apparently, there was a Marcy doll you could buy. I need to find one of those. I'm not willing to pay a lot for it, but even my daughter's like, you need to find the doll. And I'm like, if I ever come across it, I'm snagging it because, man, that'd be great for Halloween. Put it out on the porch with the albums. We were like, what is that? There's a note from 73, so Marcy extended her reign of terror into the 70s. Low of a buck, mid of 4, high of 8. This one, Marcy's covered up a bit, which is probably why it's worth less. But this album's Marcy Sings. There you go. Marcy Sings. Oh, this one, the record's coming out the bottom. Apparently, this one looks like it got some water damage or something. But like I said, they have their cult following because it's creepy. We're gonna get to the CDs, I promise. In fact, there's some really amazing CDs, stuff that I wish was on vinyl because it would have been like a killer day. And you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. After we go to Marcy, Happy Little Children from 76. This one is a low of 9, mid of 15, high of 15. So the mid and the high are the same. They didn't get too crazy value-wise. Marcy, Happy Little Children. She's sitting in front of a fireplace, indoctrinating children. It's like scaring the heck out of little children there. So apparently they were happy little children. And this one actually has a song called This Is the Way. So Marcy had that down before The Mandalorian. And there you go, Marcy. What horrible nightmarish memories do you have of Marcy? Leave it in the comments. Like I said, Marcy albums. You wouldn't think like people would be into that. Let me reach over here and grab the CDs. Okay, I'm gonna put that as the thumbnail. Let's get it. This is our Halloween special, the Marcy albums. There you go. I'm gonna get some hate mail about that. I loved Marcy as a children. What are you talking about? In fact, the Happy Little Children album. Go on Discogs, look it up, and then see the comment somebody wrote about that one. And I'm not gonna say what he says, but it's a good one. But they definitely, like I said, they have a cult following because of the creepiness. Just don't buy the ones where Marcy's a cartoon on the cover because they just don't have that creep factor that the actual ones with the photos do, which is why those are worth more. It's an album cover thing. So, wow. Okay. I'm in a good mood today. That's what I was saying. I had coffee I gave up coffee for a while, and then my kid wanted coffee because she had a call time for, they were performing Alice in Wonderland at her school, and she had to be there at 7 o'clock this morning because today they're performing for students. She was like, I want something with caffeine, so I'm actually caffeinated today, so that's probably why I'm in such a good mood. I don't know, I'm like live wire right now. We got Charlton's Melting Pot. This one's from like 98 or 99. I grabbed that. I didn't really know this Charlton's album, but I grabbed it. This was at the estate sale that was 5 blocks from here, which is where most of the stuff from this video is from. We'll just go through these. There's a couple of them where I marked because they had a little bit of value. Squeeze's Greatest Hits. These ones my kid didn't want. So I got Squeeze's Greatest Hits. I think I have a different Greatest Hits of Squeeze as well. And she didn't want this one. I'm kind of surprised. The Stranglers' Greatest Hits, 77 to 90. More punk rock for you. We got Pixies. We talked about the Pixies earlier. Doolittle. I had this on cassette. I still have the cassette I've had since forever of Doolittle by the Pixies. I'm so surprised she didn't grab that one. I'm going to throw it back at her. This one I didn't realize she already had. She's a big Cure fan. Cure Greatest Hits, which is another one I don't get why you'd have a Greatest Hits album for the Cure. Like, just buy the full albums. But Cure Greatest Hits CD. Another punk rocker. This one's an import from the UK. 2 CD set of Sham 69. I looked it up. I couldn't believe it didn't have much of a value. Amoeba sold it for $13 at one time. There's an Amoeba sticker on the back. But, I grabbed that because when do you ever come across a Sham 69 CD set? I don't. Here's another one. Black Sabbath's Greatest Hits 70 to 78 on Rhino. So Black Sabbath compilation. Perfect for listening just after you listen to some Marcy, throw on some Black Sabbath. We're all over the place on Mike Finds Things. You should know that by now. Yeah. The Clash, London Calling. This is like a digitally remastered with artwork with the little slidey thing. This was interesting because it actually lists the track Train in Vain. And of course, that was a hidden track on the original LP. It was a hidden track. And I have another CD copy of this where it's a hidden track, where you have to kind of know it's there to play it. But this one actually lists Train in Vain as track 19. But of course, originally it was not listed on the album, but it was on the album. So that's kind of interesting. We're going to start off with the ones my kid did want out of the ones I bought from the sale. From 94, this is a 1986 live recording, low of 4, mid of 7, high of 13. It is the Cramps Rockin' and Reelin', Auckland, New Zealand. So recorded live in Auckland, New Zealand. And yes, I have seen the Cramps live. I did see them at the House of Blues Anaheim when it was still at Disneyland. Actually, let me take the sticker off because it's going back in my daughter's room after this. I told her not to touch this or put any of the CDs she played that stack back because I still need to put them in a video. We got the Misfits. Man, do I wish these were like LPs. This one I do have on LP, and it says out of print for some reason. It changes Bowie. I actually do have this on LP. Space Oddity. It's basically a bunch of it's a few Bowie hits. Another one where you're better off having the albums, but whatever. Smith's Best of Volume 2. I did not have Volume 2. I had Volume 1 on CD that I bought years ago. This one's got Boy with a Thorn in His Side, Headmaster Ritual, Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now, Ask, all that good stuff. Big Mouth Strikes Again, all those great Smith songs you know and love. Buzzcock, Singles Going Steady. This is like their compilation of their hits by the Buzzcocks. Cool to find, gave it to my kid. I tried to give her those Marcy albums. She declined for some reason. I got New Order International. I can't remember if these are remixes or not. She saw New Order. She grabbed it like immediately. Have seen them live. Yes, I have. So we'll go into the Cars. Complete Greatest Hits. Never saw the Cars like live. Not even without Rick Ocasek. But I've always been a big Cars fan. I give that to my daughter. Group I've seen live multiple times, many times, a lot of times. Devo, Duty Now for the Future. I do have this one on LP. I think I have multiple copies on LP. So I give that to her. Yes, this one has Smart Patrol, Mr. DNA. Which, thankfully, every time I've seen them, I think they do the same set pretty much every time. But, you know, I was like, they better do Smart Patrol, Mr. DNA. But that's on Duty Now for the Future. Big Devo fan. Iggy Pop, The Masters, another artist I've seen twice at the same concert. Cruel World, they was it 2 years ago? They shut it down due to thunder and lightning, and they said, "Okay, everybody, come back for the last few acts the next night." So we did. So actually, I got to see Iggy Pop twice on consecutive days, but he didn't finish the set the first day. This one is Iggy Pop, The Masters, 20 classics from Iggy Pop. Or punk rock for you. Of course, my kid grabbed that one like immediately. Another group I did see them live. Reverend Horton Heat. It's Martini Time. I have seen the Rev live, and it is a great, great, great show. So if you get a chance to see the Rev, go see the Rev. All right, so that's what I got for you on Mike Finds Things this week. This one kind of went all over the place. It's all good. I'm hoping I can hit some sales this week. I got 2 car shows this weekend. Maybe 3, because Saturday I might be hitting actually 2 car shows on Saturday if I get done at the first one early enough, which I probably will not. But that one is the Mopar Fall Fling, which I was supposed to have the 67 satellite ready for, and it is not ready for it. I had to order a new fuel tank for it and all the stuff to install the new fuel tank, and that stuff is not all. I think the last of the parts are supposed to arrive on Friday, and I would need to drive it around and put tires on it and everything before then. So I'm going to go film that one. If I don't hit the second one, I might have time to hit another sale like in the Valley. Sunday, I have the Galpin show in Van Nuys. And I do have a car entered, so I have to get there early. Hopefully Thursday, Friday. I'm actually filming this on a Wednesday, which I messed up. It's trash day. But hopefully I will be able to hit some Thursday, Friday sales this week. And there's one on Thursday I want to hit. It has a bunch of LPs. It starts at 7:30. So I can't get out there probably realistically till about 9. So a lot of stuff will be picked over. I'm hoping they have some like other stuff like 78s and 45s at that one. So fingers crossed on that. It is a bit of a drive for me as well. As always, I keep looking. Get out there, keep looking for these things. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. Leave some comments. Don't hit me up too hard about the Marcy jokes, but got to admit those things are creepy. And until next time, I'll be seeing you.